We have more breaking news from Washington. Let's get back down to Eamon Javers. Eamon, what are we learning here?
Scott, we've got a cryptic social media post from the head of the Office of Management and Budget at the White House, Russ Vought, who has posted on X just a short time ago, the rifts have begun. RIF, R-I-F, stands for reduction in force. Remember, the Trump White House was threatening to permanently eliminate federal jobs as part of the overall government shutdown. Not clear how many jobs Russ Vought is talking about here, where in the federal government they're being cut, if this is the first of a number of waves or what. But this is something that the Trump administration had been using to get leverage over congressional Democrats who, generally speaking, prefer to keep federal employees employed. Of course, conservatives argue there are too many federal employees who are not doing enough work anyway, so they would be more amenable to cutting the federal workforce. In terms of the details of what this post actually means, I just texted a White House official who responded to me. It seems very self-explanatory to me. So there you go, Scott. They're saying that the rifts have begun. We don't know how many, where, or how much this will continue, but obviously this is a leverage point that the White House has been seeking.
Yeah, I suspect we'll hear more as the hours progress today. Eamon, thanks for the update on that. Eamon Javers back in what's become a very busy day around the White House, given the president's social media post earlier about rare earths, and now this news of layoffs as the government shutdown persists. At what point does the market care about the government shutdown, if at all? We didn't even mention that until this reporting from Eamon, and because why would you? The market hasn't seemed to care about it. People care, but the market doesn't care. Why not?
It'll get resolved. Every week the government is closed. It's about 0.1% off of GDP. It's manageable. And I would say we're coming from a position of strength in terms of growth. 3.8% GDP growth. Maybe it's 3% or whatever, but you can handle it in the near term, and it is going to get resolved. And we are going to recoup a lot of that revenue. So that's why I think the market is looking through it.
Yeah, and I mean, the last one was, what, 2018, right? 35 days, and the S&P was up 10%. This story, in terms of the shutdown, is about healthcare subsidies. I think, to Stephanie's point, I think it will get resolved shortly, and then I think we can move forward. And obviously, the market's paying attention to earnings and the stories of individual companies, and I think that's where the focus is.
The stock market's a math equation. It has no emotions. The people that are suffering by not getting paychecks, I mean, it affects.
Well, it has emotions. It does have emotions because what you had an emotional response in the stock market already to the China-related stuff. We don't even have that many details on it or any real specifics on how things are going to proceed, whether we will even get the massive ramp in tariffs related to China. So it does have an emotional outburst.
I would argue that it's not an emotional outburst, that could actually affect earnings, where the government shutdown has much less of an effect to actual earnings. So if there's a pivot by retail investors, maybe there's some emotion there, but probably not with the broader markets.
Right. And if you look kind of back through history, markets remember, and the reality of it is most government shutdowns, I think maybe all of them, don't lead to negative price performance in markets because of what Steph said. We end up working through them over some period of time. We saw how markets reacted to major tariff news earlier this year on Liberation Day. That was pretty dramatic. So I think markets have a memory. They're going to react to what has historically been important.